for the guy, that gal that sits beside you. Because without you buying those tickets, without you going to that premium sale, without you taking your kids to the carnival, this 90 years never happens. So just one time, let's hear it for the fans of the San Angelo Stock Show and Rodeo.
I announced the NFR for the first time in 1991. And then I was an alternate again in 92 and 93, announced it again in 94, had no position in 95, alternate in 96, announced it in 97. So really what happened was I was starting to grow through the NFR, through the visibility of the NFR. I was announcing Houston, I was announcing Denver.
Let me ask this question. How many of y'all are ready to rodeo in San Angelo tonight?
I got a call from Chris Dublin asking me if I would be interested in coming to San Angelo. At the time I was announcing Bay City, Texas. Bay City was a 3-performance rodeo. San Angelo was a 7-performance rodeo. And so I took him up on his offer and away we came. Hi, I'm Boyd Polhamus. I'm the rodeo announcer of the San Angelo Stock Show and Rodeo. I started here in the year 2000, Y2K. I was 35 the first time I came, so do the math. I'm hitting 56, 57 right now. I was the first 3-time all-around champion cowboy in the state of Wisconsin. I received a scholarship to compete in Uvalde. I went to Uvalde as a contestant and quickly realized I might, on my best day, win a 3rd or 4th place check. And then all of a sudden, I was pretending to be a rodeo announcer in the practice pen. My coaches heard me. They hired me to announce the college rodeo. Mac Altizer and Bad Company were producing that rodeo, and then Mac encouraged me to get my PRCA card, and it took off from there. Bad Company rodeo was unconventional rodeo. I mean, Mac Altizer was breaking glass ceilings left and right about what to do and what not to do in the rodeo industry.
Do you hear the music when you're riding?
Yeah, I did. I did.
And I was doing a lot of work for Mac. I mean, I was doing almost everything that Mac did. When it came time to come to San Angelo, this was not going to be a Bad Company rodeo. And so there was some pressure from the Bad Company family to say, hey man, don't go there and do it without them taking all of us. Well, I didn't think I had enough clout or stroke to say, hey, if you're going to hire me to announce, then you've got to bring my stock contracting firm and things of that nature. The Surveys were here at the time, and I was working with the Surveys in Denver and in Houston. I had a great working relationship with them. So, as far as negotiating, the toughest thing is I was going to have to charge more than Hadley Barrett, because that's just a rule. You don't undercut a guy. You just don't do that to your fellow announcers. And so in order for me to come here, Chris Dublin was going to have to agree to pay me more than he was paying Hadley. And he agreed to that. And I called Hadley to let him know, look, this is what I'm going to charge them to announce it. So I'm not undercutting you, my friend, to get your job. And Hadley was such a saint, just a complete saint. And he congratulated me and wished me well. So when I first come here, yes, I'm in the booth, and the state of the San Angelo Rodeo is, it's a good rodeo. It takes place during the building season, which means the winter run, which means Fort Worth and San Antonio are going on, Tucson's going on in Arizona. You're going to get that clientele of contestants, so you're going to get good contestants. But what the public was watching, as far as when I first got here, was slow and at times very boring, okay? We would open the rodeo with a band. The 4-H youth band would play from behind me in the booth. And then the first thing we do is we'd have a grand entry, and there was nothing grand about it. It was just, 12 or 13 guys or gals on horses riding around a little serpentine in the arena, and they go out, we'd sing, or we'd introduce the president and the rodeo stock contractor, and then we'd start bucking horses. And it was just very traditional, very traditional. And that's what they would be doing at all the other venues as well. But the National Finals Rodeo, which I had worked 8 times up to the point when I came here in 2000, wasn't doing things that way. They were slapping people in the face with light shows and loud music, and they were taking a page from the Bad Company playbook, and they were waking folks up. They weren't coming into a rodeo and being boring. They were coming in and going, hey, it's time to wake up. We're fixing to have some fun. We're going to buck something. And so then I started bringing some of those ideas to San Angelo, because I saw how successful they were in Las Vegas at the NFR, And the NFR is a huge traditionalist audience, right? There's a lot of old timers go to the NFR, and they didn't like it that much at first, but it was bringing in more people who did than who didn't.
This is not a patch job. This is a total transformation of this Coliseum. You know what it'll be? 45,000 additional square feet.
Things are moving so fast with what we can do with different toys in the room. If that Coliseum had a ring beam, if it had suites, there's just so much more that we can do. And again, I'm learning from having seen other places do it. Houston's got 30,000 volunteers, more than that, now pushing 40. They've given $500 million away in scholarships. They're huge. I don't think we're ever going to catch them on those numbers, never could.
To be able to have a new stadium or expand this one and make it have more seats, that just brings more attention to the sport that I love.
As far as what we do in San Angelo is we continue to build a relationship between the contestant and the fan. We take new technologies and we employ them. Very tough to do in our current venue. I mean, I love her. I love that Coliseum. It's been good to us. The city is a great partner. They really do. But the bottom line is you can only, let's compare it to horses. You got a horse that can run, and he might win at Ruidoso, but he can't win at the Kentucky Derby. Okay, we're going to do fine with this horse at Ruidoso. Okay, but if we want to be Kentucky Derby folks, we need a better horse. And, obviously, the horse is the Coliseum.
Now, if you were seated for the prayer, you definitely should be standing by now.
The volunteers that are on our production team here, with all due respect to all the other rodeos I work who might see this somewhere, they can't compare to San Angelo. San Angelo is so committed, so attentive. The guys that are on our rodeo committee that have to open gates and strike pyro and place horses in certain places so that, Tomas Garcilaso can get in when he needs to go. It's just a phenomenal group of people. I've never seen people that have nothing to gain be more pure in their intention of just making this rodeo the best rodeo on planet Earth.